Hello there, Pinoy fans, and welcome to Pokemon Unite Philippines Community League Season 3. This is day 1 ng Volt and Masters 8 na tayo. I'm Picky, kasama ko si Kaori, and we're very excited to show everyone yung top 8 teams natin sa nagdaang community tournaments ng PUPH. Kaori, ano ang inaabangan mo dito?
Yeah, and finally, we are here at the latter stages. Kumbaga, nandito na tayo sa huling chapter ng ating libro for our Season 3. Volt nga pala, once again mga kababayan, it's going to be the top 8 teams fighting it out kung sino nga ba ang magiging kampiyon natin for this season. Alam naman natin, for the past 2 seasons, it has been none other than Talon PH, dominating the scene. Pero mukhang ngayon, I heard some rumors that they won't be participating today due to roster issues or whatsoever. Pero we'd get to that later on. Pero once again, it's the Love and Thunder duo. Once again, we are back! Ang tagal! It's been a long time, Yules. Ano ba? Kailan huling kita natin? WCS PH qualifiers, and now we are here sa ating community naman. It's for the community this time around. Kaya drop the formalities. It's time for some action talaga. Talagang mga 1,000 gigavolt million volts yung ibibigay ni Pikachu siguro in this shocking matchup na meron tayo for our series number 1.
Speaking of electrifying and volts, mind to tell you guys, sa mga dadan Nintendo Direct nga pala kahapon, Mega Raichu X and Y revealed na nga pala, no? So, very excited on the new set of Mega Evolutions, not just in Unite, but of course, sa ating buong franchise ng Pokemon. Super duper excited, ang daming pasabog. Kaya abangan na lang natin yun. Pero, heading towards to this series or games natin ngayong araw, no? I do believe we have 3 set of matches that we will get to see for today. First game, Isen Rego versus si Codanon Phyton. So, basically, isa sa mga pinaka top contender teams, Isen Rego, number 1 sila sa ating seedings. Number 8 naman dito yung Codanon Phyton.
Yeah, I mean, Codanon Phyton, just making it through that grueling top 8. Alam natin na the difference from top 1 to 4 and the rest of the teams in terms of points, medyo malayo, pero nandito na tayo ngayon. Standings doesn't mean a thing. I mean, Isen Rego has been on fire recently. Nakita natin sa mga performances nila, and they have been consistent to say the least. So I'm just expecting Isen Rego to actually do wonders for this first series. Pero Phyton naman, kumbaga Phyton na yan may deadly strike yan na bigla-biglaan. So Rego shouldn't, drop their guard this time around. And I'm just excited as to what this can bring. Kasi ngayong Phyton dito, as from my previous experiences with them, as I watched them, they're this super unpredictable team. Kumbaga meron silang high highs, pero meron din silang low lows at times. So, they're kind of inconsistent, but once they're on their A game, they are just going to dominate itong ating Thea Sky Ruins. Nga pala mga kababayan, Groudon is currently banned muna for this map since we started the tournament with Rayquaza at syempre we'd end it with Rayquaza. Hindi muna natin siya ibabaon sa limot, pero we are now ready, I think, for our game number 1 ng Isen Rego versus Codanon Phyton. Ikaw, Pika Yules, what is your thoughts between the matchup of Isen Rego going up against this kind of unorthodox team, to say the least, Codanon Phyton?
Just like what you've said a while ago, Codanon Phyton, they actually have their high highs and very could be expected like the dark horse team at least of the whole tournament. But we're talking about Eason Rego, probably has been really consistent since WCS PH qualifiers this year, getting as far as third place. So that's the good thing about Rego. Like they were able to build up their chemistry despite having minor tweaks on their roster, but still you can see the core team is still playing at it. So really curious what Codenome Python has here, knowing that they have unexpected runs as often as every time. So I'm quite curious what could be their attack here to a team who's been really doing well and has been together for so long.
Exactly, but Eason Rego going into this matchup with a different central laner, if you can actually see. It's going to be Sent, originally from Eason Omento, now playing for Eason Rego. That is going to, shake things up quite a bit. I mean, for Codenome Python, they're not new players. We've seen Kiwi, we've seen V, Tolitz, Prios, Maddie. They have been once part of Code Unknown Fibonacci, if I'm not mistaken. So it's an entirely new look for Codenome Python, but you can expect that the chemistry is still there for this team. Now, Eason Rego deciding to ban out two of the evolutions, habang itong Code Unknown Python naman would ban out Suicune together with the, syempre, masakit-sakit pa yung damage nito. Even though with the nerfs, it's going to be the Larios banned out. At yan na, MV3 Kiawe with a signature pick. For the first pick, it's going to be the Trevenant.
Yeah, we really did miss this Trevenant pick from Kiawe because we haven't been seeing Din as much as possible, as much as we did during the Fast Community Tournaments. It's full of Snorlax, and because that has been working in the meta. But right now, at Trevenant, really excited on what we have to see here. But I'm loving the pick as well from Cold Unknown Python, starting very early with Clefable and Blaziken, a much very stable sustain healing for them, and at the same time could really assist general if this one goes for the Gravity Kit maya para ma-delay yung mga bagay-bagay dito para sa Eason Rego. But I love as well that they're gonna be using Flame Charge, so let's see if that will be the kit later on for Jemiru.
Yeah, we'll see later on. I mean, Jemiru, let's just talk about Jemiru recently. I mean, Jemiru has been the fuse kung Team Eason Rego had those games where he just carried the game single-handedly. I mean, for Eason Rego, I think he is the main point of offense here. Like, he's the win condition. Kumbaga, kailangan talaga nila alagaan tong si Jemiru, or else it would cause disaster or spell out trouble for the side of Eason Rego. Pero with the new addition of Scent in the central lane, are we going to see a lot of changes as well in terms of their playstyle? O magkakaroon naman tayo ngayon ng panibagong timpla when it comes to Eason Rego?
Yan, yung panibagong timpla talaga yung isa sa mga pinakainaantay natin dito. No? But, speaking of bagong timpla, lock-in na nga dito ng side ng Code Unknown Python yung which is actually a great counter as well for up against Eason Rego, knowing that this gives a lot of vision with Azure Spy vision and yung critical hits. So this would actually be very beneficial for them. But Tolates has to play a big role here. They need to peel down every single aggressive takers here for Eason Rego to maximize the damage output of this Inteleon that will be a powerful backline attacker on their side. But taking a look at it, very aggressive Eason Rego, very effective yung kanilang damage. But I'm quite curious, can they handle the all-rounders coming in dito sa Code Unknown Python?
Yeah, I mean, it's the all-arounder barrage siguro na kailangan bantayan dito ng Eason Rego. So, it would be the job here of Aki together, syempre, with Kiawe to actually, keep those backlane safe. I mean, they're running two attackers in this matchup. So, it's a given na yung damage nila would be off the roof. Pero at the same time, it could be a double-edged sword na pwedeng i-utilize or pwedeng i-expose dito ng Code Unknown Python.
Yeah, that's actually very true. But I haven't noticed actually who has the curse items. Excuse me for that one. Huh? Medyo
a minor hiccup.
Pa-iba-ibang panahon. But yeah, we have been talking about curse items, so that will play a pivotal role actually for Eason Rego, knowing that they have a very reliable Clefable. Actually, for both teams at least. But I do expect that this Blissey will go for the helping hand and safeguard. But yeah, let's see. Match number 1 here, my boy Kaori And okay.
A little bit of through the wall action doon. Kumbaga, slight hiccup dito sa ating matchup. But once again, we are now in the first game of Eastern Rego versus Code Unknown Fire, and I'm just as excited as you are. And early invades would come in, but you know, Tolites wouldn't find anything in that invade. So Scent is still very much here with the of the Snorlax getting punished, but I think that it's unlikely. Pero doon naman sa ating itaas, makakakuha dito ng unang pick-up itong si Nyx. I mean, we've been talking about Nyx and this Zacian as well. He has been phenomenal talaga sa mga recent tournaments natin. And now, you know, sticking with this pick, it's been the safest picks for Eastern Rego, kung mapapansin natin. Pero ngayon, makakahanap tayo ng another engagements on to that bottom path, and that Combuskin would be successful in taking down one member from Eastern Rego. And now Scent is in the fray. He's now in the action, pero mukhang runaway muna dito ang Code Unknown Firen as of the moment.
Yeah, but they need to be very careful dito kay Tolates.
Yeah, they need to be very careful with Tolites here. I mean, Tolites has just been waiting for that perfect opportunity, and with that, Code Unknown Firen actually got the majority of those Altarius and Swablues. At doon naman sa ating itaas, with them not having enough members, but still, it's going to be Nyx, you know, turning things around with that Zacian. You know, the burst of damage is just so much for that Lucario to handle. At syempre, level 3 pa nga lang to ating Cleffa. Na ngayon pa lang nag-evolve, level 4 na, would have that healing galing, kumbaga yung Moonlight natin. Pero magkakaroon na naman tayo ng laban dito sa ating itaas. But wait a minute just yet, dahil wala pa namang magaganap.
Wala pa magaganap. Have to be very careful. Despite this 8-minute mark, Eastern Rego has been actually controlling a lot of damage department. But, you know, 8 o'clock will definitely be the turning point and the boiling point around here.
I mean, it's going to be the boiling point kasi they're going to boil down the damages. And now, ito na nga ngayon ang pagbagsak at ang pag-abante ng Eastern Rego. This has been their prowess. 2 KO streak from Scent. And what an ice-shattering, literal na panimula coming in from Eastern Rego. Now the defense here onto the bottom path would be in, but the fight is not over just yet. 5 members invested for Eastern Rego. Here comes Code Unknown Firen. Here comes the engage. Heavy Slam wouldn't find anyone. Mukhang makakadukot sila ng isa doon. It's going to be Kiawe, the first casualty. Siya dito yung unang mamamaalam. Gagamitin na nga rin dito ngayon yung Glacial Stage ni Scent, but no damage so far to follow it up dahil nga naman meron pa tayong pod, tapos yung snipe shots wouldn't just land. At ayun na nga, the damage coming in from Scent is just too much to handle for Code Unknown Fighton ngayon. They're going to be fighting for that bottom objective that is going to spawn in just about 4 seconds.
Yeah, Icicle Spears has been doing a lot of damage. Those sure hits are really punishing Code Unknown Fighton really hard and having a hard time for them to engage into fights.
At talagang maganda naman doon yung pagtalon ng ating Snorlax, pero hindi pa magiging sapat. But that is going to be the last hit coming in from Code Unknown Fighton, where they struck their fangs deep into the hearts of Eastern Rego. Makakaharap sila doon ng isa, makakaharap ng dalawa itong ating sniper. At from the backlane, tatamaan pa nga si Scent, and the points would be dumped in for the side of Code Unknown Fighton. Pero kailangan nila bilisan ng onte dahil nandito na nga yung responde ng Eastern Rego. Pero on the backlane, that Blaziken was just blazing hot. Nakaharap siya ng isa at mukhang si Tolites na nga dito yung magiging sacrificial lang for the side of Code Unknown Fighton. And that is just clean from Code Unknown Fighton, you know, turning things around. Ito yung sinasabi natin sa kanila, high highs and low lows. Pero ngayon magkakaroon tayo ng 1v1, which is a no-no kasi magiging 2v1. And that is Scent, you know, on the rescue. Kumbaga, I can be your Superman, baby.
Yeah, this is just a better chemistry overall for Eastern Rego. We need to see more from Code Unknown Fighton. They've been putting up a great fight, but they need to be more as a team in order for them to get the important KOs and important fights up against Eastern Rego, especially that we have a second set of objective in top path.
I mean, it's going to be the second objective here onto the top path. Another good point of contention here. So, I mean, we've been seeing Code Unknown Fighton, you know, stealing the objective and, you know, finding a great fight. But right now, I think they're going to be starting off a bit hot. And that is Kiawe down. So that's the anchor of the team. Now, where is this ship sailing next? As Eastern Rego would need to fight this. Azure Spice Vision is now popped by this Inteleon. And that is just the, you know, Reggie Alecki secured here by Code Unknown Fighton. Now the pressure is in the face of Eastern Rego. What can they do to avert this tragic events na nangyayari kaliwat kanan? At meron na nga tayong mga fireworks na binitawan coming in from Eastern Rego, and now they're on the chase and they're on the hunt. Pero meron pa rin naman tayo diyang Blessed Assistance na magiging malaking tulong talaga for the side of Eastern Rego. And just like that, yung na-build up na lead ng Code Unknown Python gone in just a flash.
Yeah, just in a flash, and that was because of Jemiru offering a lot of fire spins para sa kanyang team, being able to create a space para sa kanila. They don't even need Kiawe. If Kiawe is actually knocked out, just chill. We have a fire spin. Someone is gonna tank for us. It's going to be my move, and everything comes down sa kanilang pabor, creating a space, and Nyx can actually do anything he wants because he's super duper aggressive up until this point and deploys a lot of damage up against Python.
Yeah, and with all of that action, I think we're going to have a pause. Masyadong mainit yung laban natin dito coming in from Eastern Rego and Code Unknown Python. And, as you can notice, we have been seeing quite a back and forth. So, I'm not taking anything away from Code Unknown Python, but must I say, this is a showing that we are expecting coming from them. Alam natin na merong kapasidad talaga tong team na to. And up against Eastern Rego, they are putting up a good fight, especially with that steal doon sa ating ibaba. Pero balik na tayo dito sa ating laro. I think they're going to just give up that objective sa ating ibaba because in no way can they actually contest. And that is just Eastern Rego taking the Reggie Ice doon sa ating baba. Tuloy pa rin naman sila sa paghabol dito and I think that they want to fight this power nap yung gagamitin pero wala munang ganap na mangyayari as of the moment dahil kulang pa sa members dito. And look at that Phantom Forest na babitawan dito ni Kiawe. And next, a little bit too far from his team. Ang tanong, mapapunish ba? So that is going to be 1-4-1 trade, 4v4 situation right now. Mag-score si Jemiru but he is going into the grinder. Siya dito ngayon ang mabibigyan coming in from the side of Code Unknown Python, and the Pythons are just fighting for their lives at this moment. Talagang habol dito ngayon yung Python pero mukhang sila paatay, mapapasama. Ascent is just firing off glacial shards doon sa ating likuran, pero grabe din naman yung paghabol ng Code Unknown Python with a 2KO streak. This Blaziken is just quite literally on fire. Sumalo siya dito ng fanciful fireworks. Ang tanong, mabibigyan ba fire spin? Would be in to just catch him out. Tapos si Jemiru naman, sabi niya, it's my turn now. Play. At yun, maghahabol siya pero not much damage would be dealt as Code Unknown Python would just leave their defender behind. But still, back and forth once again between these two teams. But I think Code Unknown Python got the better of that fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Tolates being the MVP of that sequence, actually able to use the blocks on point in order for him to protect his allies during that fight, despite Nyx trying to chase over yung mga attackers dito, just like the Inteleon. That's actually a win for them. Despite their attackers being chased, they weren't able, Eastern Rego wasn't able to actually knock out yung mga key damage dealers dito ng Code Unknown Python. Because of that blocks, he was actually able to push down the other members, so no follow-up was actually available for Nyx. So that's the good part here for Code Unknown Python, having a frontliner who's actually responsible enough to protect the attackers.
Exactly, and now that is just going to be the Reggie Aleki claim here by the side of Eastern Rego. But I think no more pressure would be dealt here until the 2-minute mark. Kasi papasok dito yung Reggie Aleki, there's a chance or a possibility from Eastern Rego to actually score double the points. Pero ang tanong, isusugal ba nila yun as we are now in the final stretch? Here comes the engage coming in from that Snorlax. Might be a little bit too deep. Masyadong maganda dito yung setup ni Kiawe. Tapos makakahanap ng isa doon si Jemiru sa ating likuran. 2KO stick. But the sniper shot, or the snipe shot rather, would land. Pero ubus na dito yung mga miyembro ng Code Unknown Python as Eastern Rego is just hunting them down. Talagang takbo dito ngayon ang mga miyembro ng Code Unknown Python trying to do whatever it is that they can do. Kiwi, in the face of his former captain Kiawe, magmimiss doon yung kanyang Hornleech. Susubukan niya i-snipe dito yung Rayquaza pero masyadong late, kaibigan, as Eastern Rego would secure it. At mukhang sila ngayon ang tatakbo papunta sa ating mga goal zones. 194 to 215. Possible pa rin dito yung depensa. One shield is down already for the side of Eastern Rego at mukhang makakascore dito ng 100 si Sent doon sa ating ibaba. And that is going to be a lot of problem from Code Unknown Python. But still, 1 minute left on the clock, but members still has their shields, so they have to pick. Magdedepensa ba tayo o susugod na tayo?
Kailangan dumepensa dito ng Eastern Rego. Almost everyone ran out of Rayquaza's shield, so they cannot score as fast as possible compared to a Groudon buff. So you need to be really careful here. Avoid being knocked out on the last 40 seconds. Defend everything, or else Code Unknown Python will take over this one. They have to hunt down for Kiwi as much as possible. But Nyx, on the other hand, slams the score on the right side.
Exactly, no. And now Kiawe is just trying to defend this pod with his life, and he is going to be the cause of it. At ngayon, mukhang makakascore yung ibang miyembro coming in from the Fightons, pero makakahanap din naman tayo ng pickups. At napakaganda naman ang ginagawa dito ng Code Unknown. But the answer, or the question is rather, do they have enough time para talagang makascore with 10 seconds left? I don't think that they do. Pero mukhang masyadong a little bit too late na talaga mga kaibigan. Tamang depensa lang dito ang Isenrego. And I think that might do it for game number 1. Isenrego almost at the brink of defeat. Pero experience speaks volumes dito sa ating labanan, and they would take game number 1 away from Code Unknown Fighter.
Yeah, and just imagine if that wasn't actually Rayquaza. If that was Groudon, it could have been a different story para dito sa side ng Code Unknown Python. They are just a scary team, being able to control team fights, and it's just flip is very impossible when you're up against them right now. They're just showing how formidable team they are. But at the end of the day, Nyx was actually able to sneak down a couple of goals dun sa may top path. So I think that was actually one of the winning cons din dito ng Isenrego. No, just absolutely making sure that they have to maximize the buff of the Rayquaza, in which you have to score as much as possible despite your shields are running down already. So great defense by Kiawe and company, and Nyx was able to communicate to his team that he could actually score more to just formally seal off the deal. Because if he haven't scored, maybe it could have been a different story, since that's less than 100. I do believe that was around 60 plus. So if you're taking a look at the scoreboard, it's actually still a lead by Isenrego, but not that much. And it would be nerve-wracking for them that, like, mas magkaroon ng confidence dito yung Code Unknown Python. No? So very, very huge props to Nyx being able to score down those last-minute goals for their team.
Exactly, and I think the main problem there, kasi yung Code Unknown Python, they were a bit too aggressive towards that Rayquaza fight. They didn't pick their spot. I mean, yes, nakakita sila ng potential engage, but that was a chokehold, kumbaga. Masikip yung dinaanan nila, and they were punished for it. Napakaganda ng placing ni Jemeru ng kanya mga fire spins. Siyempre, fanciful fire spins to just, space away the team from Code Unknown Python, kasi nga they have two all-arounders, so they have no option but to get up close and personal. Pero bago pa nila magawa yun, tinamaan na sila ng yellow, nasunog na sila ng apoy, and that just spelled disaster for Code Unknown Python. But still, I think it's still a good game number 1 coming in from Code Unknown Python, showing that number 8 seeding doesn't matter dito sa ating torneo ngayon, because they just showed that they are capable of actually putting a dent dito sa ating numero 1, kumbaga.
Oh yeah, for sure. Standings, just a number, rankings, yun talaga yung pinapakita ng Code Unknown Python. Talagang bukado na yun sa lahat ngayon. Kumbaga seeding lang yung pinapakita ngayon, pero it's a whole different story when we're talking about the playoffs already. And definitely for sure, isa lang naman yung gusto nila patunguhan, yung kampeonato. And definitely, Isenrego is one step ahead of them for now. But this is the best of 3 series. Medyo malayo pa yung lalakbay ng mga teams natin dito. But for sure, Isenrego, gusto na nila tapusin to. They want that early 2-0. But the question is, can they do the assignment already? Knowing that Code Unknown Python, such a formidable team, highs of highs, lows and lows, just like what you've said, Kaori. But we'll see if they have another game plan in order to defeat Isenrego for game 2.
Exactly. So there's only 2 possible outcomes here. It's Code Unknown Python getting more comfortable and actually adjusting sa Isenrego, or Isenrego, finding the groove and confidence with their last team fight to actually just, sweep away this competition. Kumbaga, makikita natin ngayon, will Isenrego actually play more aggressively, or will Code Unknown Python, figure out the algorithm, kumbaga, dito ng ating team Isenrego. And now, we are just in the pick and ban phase, and I think it's kind of the same ban for both of the teams, but this time around, it's a little bit different. The Clefable would be removed this time around for the side of Isenrego, habang yung Code Unknown Python, they decided to ban still the same Pokemons. It's Suicune and that Latios taken out of the equation.
Yeah, I might just tell you everyone, if you haven't noticed, we only have 2 bans per team compared to the newly implemented 3 bans sa ranked game. So just a little bit of a trivia, but yeah, so no global bans since Kiawe decides to go for another Trevenant run, at least for game number 2, so they could actually use every single Pokemon that they've used for the past game. So there's no such thing as global ban, but really quite curious, will they run the same strategy knowing that the Curse was actually doing a lot of damage and a lot of contribution to their team, but it's not as consistent as a defender who could actually set the place. But you know, if there's gonna be another Delphox here for Gemiro, then this setup would actually work for them. The same setup would work. So I think that would be the strategy once again here for Isen Rego.
I mean, yeah, it could be the same strategy, pero siguro a little bit of tweaks. Siguro, I mean, that's the same case as well for Coda non Python. They're drafting this with the Umbreon. Syempre, nandyan pa rin naman yung napakagandang performance coming in from that Blaziken, but you know, it was just a little bit too short doon sa ating unang game, but it's kind of still the same recipe for the side of Code Unknown Python, but this time around, naban out nga dito yung Clefable, so they would instead pick up that Blissey, habang Isen Rego naman, Gemiro on that Pikachu. We know what this man can do with this Pokemon, and it's just scary at the same time. Not to mention, the Zera Aura ang nilalabas ngayon ng Isen Rego. It's a completely different draft. It's only the Trevenant siguro na nag-maintain dito for the side of Isen Rego, pero it's overall a different game plan. I mean, Coda non Python, they tweak things a bit, but I think the game plan is still very much the same. It's getting up close and personal, letting those all around us do the work, and then, you know, pray for the best. Kasi they are now at the brink of elimination dito sa ating torneo. Kumbaga, isipin mo, isang talo lang would actually kick you off the tournament, and after countless tournaments that they've had, this is the moment where they need to actually perform.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, just take a look at the draft here. Again, same idea for Coda non Python, long range attacker with that Mewtwo. But here's the thing, this one has a sure hit compared to a snipe shot who plays a lot of gamble, right? Like, you have to aim those snipe shots as much as possible for you to get the value. So I think Kiwi and the others from Coda non Python is just trying to play very safe. Gusto nila i-secure damage compared to a couple of miss might happen. So, very great decision on that one para mas consistent yung damage department nila. But I'm quite curious, at least for Isen Rego, can they actually maintain the same crowd control level that the Delphox will actually offer? Maybe if this will be a Thunderbolt composition for Gemiro, and I do believe that will be the case since he has been running this over and over again for the past couple of tournaments, and he has been really an MVP for Isen Rego. But here we go! Game number 2 of our first matchup for today. Isen Rego, one win is enough for them to advance to semifinals.
Exactly, you know, all it takes is one win. Kumbaga sa kanta, if I had one wish, ayun na yung hinahanap ngayon ng Isen Rego. And now we are in the game numero 2, mga kababayan. It's Isen Rego versus Code Unknown Python is officially underway. And I'm just excited. Shout out to Prios, by the way. He has been playing very great. A fellow Beyblader of mine.
Oh,
now decided to press some buttons at mukhang naglock na yung daliri niya, kakahila ng ripcord o kakahila ng string launcher.
Oo, 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Oh yan, dito ka na sumot sa Pokemon
Tama,
Unite.
tama.
Yeah, shoot some goals, man. You're Prios, my dude. You can do way better than game number 1. I'm sure of that, despite doing an awesome job. But speaking of awesome job, 2 KOs here for the side of Isen Rego. Starting things very strong.
Yeah, they're starting things very strong dito sa ating game number 2. Noticing the lead already. They really like playing those they really like playing those 3-man rotation doon sa ating itaas. So Isen Rego this time around with a much more faster composition with that Zera Aura. I think it pays off more per se, kasi talagang you have the Comfy and you have the Zera Aura just running freely and dealing as much damage as he can. I mean, it's sent after all, the $1 million baby, kumbaga, na binabanggit natin nung WCS qualifiers pa lang. So this time around, I think for CU Python to actually win this out, sa tingin ko si Tolates yung magiging key player nila dito to actually catch that Zera Aura off guard. Kasi once you catch Scent, you also catch Ray. Kumbaga, 2-in-1 yung mahuhuli mo. But now we are back in the ball game, mga kababayan. We are now back in the action. 3, 2, 1, go shoot. Dito ang ating mga players and reconnecting. At mukhang nagkakaroon tayo dito ng connection sa ating itaas, and that is going to be a KO once again. Still no answers for this fast-placed electrifying moves na pinapakita dito ng Ethan Rego.
Yeah, speaking of electrifying, they have been doing a great job taking away yung mga Pokemon camps dito sa forest nila, no? So, great job on that one for Ethan Rego. Gusto talaga nila na ma-delay as much as possible yung side ng Coda known Phyton. And I do agree with you, they have to, Tolets really has to play more of a game plan here para sa kanila because he could be the key player in sealing off that Zeraora and the Comfy. But here we go, Kaori!
Yeah, here we go. Talaga, dahil nagulat na lang ako sa nangyari bigla, and that is one down Prayos in the grave. Pero makikita naman natin, you know, Coda known Phyton is still keeping things within reach. Talagang lamang sila sa points, and also the level gap isn't that huge per se. Pero ngayon, mukhang magkakaroon na naman ng another plan dito yung Ethan Rego. Another sneaky play sa itaas. Pero mukhang aware dito yung Coda known Phyton. I mean, they have 2 members up top. Pero this Blissey could be punished, and punish it get. At ayun, nakabasag na rin yung top goal zone dito for the side of Coda known Phyton.
Signature Pikachu of Jemiro doing a lot of damage, and you have to love him checking the bushes with his moves, no? So that's actually what you expect, especially when you're a ranged Pikachu. But look at the range from this.
Grabe nga yung range dito sa ating ibaba, and that is one main look na ibibigay nila kay Nex, pero mabubuhay pa rin naman. Ang tagal mapuksa ng isang lamok, at ito na nga ngayon ng Ethan Rego. They are now on the chase, at isang malaking kidlat ang tumama dito kay Price. Wag kang ganon ang sabi dito ng Ethan Rego. And now it's going to be the Regirock getting taken down sa ating baba. The question is, will Coda known Phyton actually try and get that? And did you see that tech, man? Did you see that tech? The eject button, sabay buhat pare para mabato patalikod. Grabe yun.
Naku po, binuhat na nga, pero nakakulong na nga dito yung manok. Kaya naman another KO lands para sa benefit ng Ethan Rego. No points enough for them to destroy the goal zone, but they're still chasing for more KOs.
I mean, they're still chasing for more KOs, and ultra swollen slam ang tatama sa mukha dito ngayon ng ating defender. And now Coda known Phyton on their back foot, trying to defend, habang yung taas naman nila sinusubukan makakuha ng enough points to actually try and equalize things off. Pero meron na namang dadakot for the side of Coda known Phyton, and I think Ethan Rego said, okay, I think that's enough. Pero si Jemiru mukhang natitigan ng masama, and but still, meron pa rin naman tayong thunderstorm na mang-shock talaga dito sa Coda known Phyton. I mean, the fight is still going on and it's still ensuing. Pero ang tanong, masusure na ba dito ng Coda known Phyton yung pagbawi nila? Sweet Kiss would land, tapos slow smoke, low on HP na nga dito, pero hindi na magiging sapat. Punished na dito ngayon si Sent. One member down, tuloy pa rin sa pag-push dito yung Coda known Phyton. Pryo still fighting, still persisting talaga. Ayaw pa nila magpatalo, and another KO na naman coming in from Coda known Phyton. The Captain Kiawe trying to defend, pero hindi ba magiging sapat? Pero mukhang magiging sapat lang naman, as that is going to be the end of that fight dito sa ating ibaba.
Yeah, and I think Coda known Phyton really took a lot of time for them to finally knock out dito yung Zeraora and the Comfy, no? So I think they haven't been able to KO it as fast as possible, making them unable to break down the gold zone in the bottom path. Lalo na yung timing dito ng Kiawe with the Phantom Forest, they have enough time for them to defend things down. So a beautiful defense overall for Ethan Rego, but I think Coda known Phyton really needs to execute faster.
Ooh, did you see that pull coming in from Sent? Kaya talagang he's pulling, pare, literal. Tapos yung Squid Kiss ay tatama, tapos 3 KO streak coming in from Nyx. And still, he is looking for more. Thunderstorm would be committed, pero that is just to fend off the dog. Hulit the dogs out. Wala, dahil sarado ang backyard, sabi dito ng Ethan Rego. Habang sa baba, nagkakaroon lang naman tayo ng konting cha-cha dance between those two defenders. Tolates versus Kiawe. Makunat sa makunat, walang nangyayari. Etong Reggie Eleki naman sa taas, binabanatan na ng Ethan Rego. So I think that is going to be the Reggie Eleki now claimed here for the side of Ethan Rego. 2 pressures that they would have to deal with. Ang tanong, Coda known Phyton, will they actually defend? Because there's 3 members. Now 2 members invested doon sa ating itaas from Ethan Rego. I mean, you have Coda known Phyton getting that Reggie Ice sa ating baba, which is going to be very helpful in their state. Pero ito na nga si Sent from the back end of things ka mga kababayan. Gusto na nga tumalon, Sweet Kiss Woodland. Tapos sabayan mo pa dito ng onting discharge. Pero wala muna siyang mapipick off na isa dahil si Prius ata ay naliligaw mga kababayan, Sweet Kiss Woodland. Pero Bliss assistance would be there pero just a little bit too late. Tapos tatalo na rin si Nyx on the back end. Tapos ibabalagbag na dito yung mga miyembro ng Code Unknown Python at mukhang wala na silang palag dito sa pag-abante ng ng Eastern Rego rather. And 2 KO streak coming in from Nyx and he is still not done with the work. Tuloy-tuloy lang siya doon sa back end. Pero mukhang meron na namang na-uppercut Hadouken. Pero walang maibabato dito ngayon yung members ng Code Unknown Python as Eastern Rego completely dominating every single team fight that they go through.
That's actually true, and maybe they need to be very careful then, no? Despite them winning that team fight, they need to take care of Jemiru as much as possible, especially on critical fights just like here. 3 minutes left into the game plan. You need to be very careful. Jemiru, if they lose him, the damage department will really have a drop down para sa Eastern Rego.
Yeah, kumbaga magiging malaking kawalan talaga dito ngayon ang ating Jemiru or ang Eastern Rego. Malaking kawalan siya at this point because you have every single thunder landing from him. The thunderstorms is just, you know, ripping the members of Code Unknown Python into shreds. Kumbaga, hindi pa shedding season pero tinatanggal na agad dito ni Jemiru yung mga balat nila. And now, you have the Reggie Eleki, which is going to be good, I think, for the side of Code Unknown Python. But Eastern Rego would be very happy to just, you know, give that one up dahil hindi rin naman nila makukuha and they would prioritize their positioning more. So now, the question is, will Code Unknown Python figure out once again yung plano dito ng Eastern Rego?
Yeah, and I think that's a great decision for Python not to go for the Regieleki because despite them getting that objective, I do feel like they would be a little bit too late dun sa Rayquaza and Eastern Rego has the potential to just burst it down para sa flip. So I think that's a great overall decision for Code Unknown Python. But the thing is, they need to have a better plan to execute things down here. They need to pick off Jemiru as fast as possible for them to win the team fights.
Uy, grabe! For them to win the team fights pero mapapagamit na nga ng Flowery Field forever dito ang ating kababayan from Eastern Rego. Pero still, it was a successful team fight dahil natanggal nila dito yung Blaziken. And just like that, a member down na dito ngayon yung Code Unknown Python. But Eastern Rego, disiplina ang tinatawag nila dahil alam naman nila na sila yung nasa kalamangan. That is one free Jemiru, kumbaga hindi pa punish down pero may matutulak naman doon si Kapitan sa may likuran. Tuloy na rin naman yung laban dito at mukhang hindi na rin magbaback down ng Eastern Rego. But at the same time, Code Unknown Python, lalaban pa ba? Kakayanin pa ba? Ang sagot nga ba ay magiging oo, hindi, pero mukhang hindi na talaga as that is Eastern Rego still not being able to actually take out Sent dito mga kababayan, and another 100 points ang maiidakdak dito ng ating Zeraora. And you know, that Mewtwo Y needs to be very careful kasi nga low on HP na and now time is ticking. What will Code Unknown Python do? And one member is down again, so that is so much outsu talaga. Tapos Eastern Rego just, you know, securing the perimeters, kumbaga protektahan yung Rayquaza o kung gusto nyo, sige sa inyo na, pero joke lang po ang sabi dito ni Jemiru as Jemiru with a picture perfect finish. Thunderbolt sa mukha ang sinabi nila as 2-0 would come in from Eastern Rego, eliminating Code Unknown Python from this tournament.
Yeah, and Blazy just wasn't enough actually para dito sa side ng Code Unknown Python since you know, there has been a lot of crowd control, let's say special attack damage dito para sa side ng Eastern Rego. They do have the Thunderbolt ng Pikachu. They may Plasma Gale din actually, which is physical damage dito para sa side ng Zeraora. But you know, it's just them having a great amount of area of effect damage na talagang pinapahirap yung buhay dito ng side ng Code Unknown Python. So, despite them being able to debuff things down, It's just too overwhelming para sa kanila because they weren't able to go for a chase down knockout up against Jemiru. So I think that's what they lack on their composition. I feel like they need someone like a Mimikyu that could lock down Jemiru immediately, or a speedster who's quick enough to go for the knockout. So still, props here to Code Unknown Phyton. It was a great match, but the winning condition for them wasn't just enough to pull an upset up against Rego.
I mean, yeah, exactly. Code Unknown Phyton, I mean, it was closer the first time around, pero when it came to Ace and Rego just adjusting and, pulling out another trick out of their hat, medyo na-overwhelmed dito yung Code Unknown Phyton because once again, we were talking about their draft and on how it's still the same thing, kumbaga, pero medyo onting difference lang, kumbaga. Pero, Ace and Rego got the better of them and, still GG's towards the side here of Code Unknown Phyton. And once again, I think that is just the first series.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, guys, we have to make an announcement since I think we're only going to have 2 series for today because for the matchup of LF Org versus Nocturnals, I think LF Org would actually forfeit that match, so the winner would be Nocturnals. And syempre, it comes with a heavy heart, but I have to say that old guys or formerly known as Talon PH, the kings of the Philippines, would actually have to forfeit their match as well. I think due to personal reasons, so it would be reject, just moving forward that tournament. And once again, it's a lot of things that you have to consider because this time around, I think the main thing of this tournament is that we are going to have a new champion and I'm just excited to know who it is. Pero bago pa natin malaman kung sino yung mga magpo-proceed towards the next matches, I think we are going to be heading off a little break muna mga kabayan. We'll see you in a bit.
And welcome back sa ating Pokemon Unite Philippines Community League Season 3 Vote Day number 1. Masters 8 pa rin tayo. PKLs and Cowery still at your service. And syempre, may special guest tayo para sa araw na ito. Walang iba, the one and only Rookie of the Year, Tempest. Pasok!
Grabe. Hello guys. Rinig naman ako, di ba?
Yan,
rinig.
rinig.
Loud and
Hello.
clear, bossing.
Hello guys, good day sa inyo lahat. Grabe, nakaka-pressure pala dito sa casting area. Lalo na kasama si Best Cowrie and Pia Cools combo.
Yo,
Grabe. So yun nga guys, first match pa lang yun mainit na pinapakita sa atin. So paano pa tong second match natin? Last match to, di ba?
Last
Yes,
match.
it's the last match.
Sino ba yung maglalaro, Tempest, para naman malaman ng lahat?
Yan!
Pagkaalam ko code unknown, 'di ba? Yung dalawang code unknown magkakalaglagan na yung dalawang code unknown. So sinong code unknown yung pinakamalakas na lang dalawa?
Exactly.
So ayun nga guys, nakaka-enjoy nga manood pala dito while suporta lang tayo sa both team. Kaya appreciate natin yung mga players natin sa Pinas. Sila yung magwawagayway sa atin.
Exactly. No? Sila talaga yung magwawagayway sa atin. Pero let us not forget as well kung sino talaga yung nagwagayway ng ating bandera. Napindot ko yung mute button. So, sino nga ba talaga yung unang nagwagayway ng ating bandera on the world stage? At syempre, one of the biggest accolades na nakuha ng ating bansa in that year was actually getting the Rookie of the Year award. At syempre, it's none other than Tempest. Once again, it's Rookie of the Year 2022, if I'm not
23.
mistaken.
2023.
2023. So, Tempest, walk us through, sabihin mo sa amin, how was it like nung natanggap mo yung award na yun? How was it for you, and meron ka bang pinag-aalayan nung achievement na yon? Is it for the community? Is it for the country? Or is it more of a personal accomplishment per se?
Wala, ang nangyari dun parang hindi ko nga unexpected na kami yung magiging second, di ba? So, like, parang plano talaga yun sa amin. So, wala, swerte lang talaga kami. Yun lang.
Swerte daw ang sabi ni Tempest, pero alam nating hindi. You know, you got everyone, every Filipino, every Pokemon Unite fan on the edge of their seats. Talagang napanood ko yun. Papunta pa ako sa mall nun eh. Then I was just watching. Kumbaga, pinanood ko kung paano nila gapangin yung lower bracket, beating out two of the strongest Japanese teams. But you know, sometimes yung mga bida nagpapabugbugin sa una. Medyo naubos lang ng onti dito yung ating Team Ong Abyssinian, if I'm not mistaken, nung 2023. But still, you know, it's a pleasure having Tempest here with us, guys. Pero with that being said, sa tingin ko, pwedeng si Tempest ang magsabi sa atin ng ating PUPH Community Awarding for the Community Tournament of the Year. Kuya Pao, can you show us the list ng mga magko-compete for this prestigious award? Kuya Pao.
Yon! Wait!
Go Tempest! Banat!
So, ayun nga guys, meron tayong PUPH Community Award. Grabe to. Grabe, sino ba tong mga nandito? So, ang Community Tournament of the Year pala natin, mga nominees. Ito, sa January 25 to 26. Code Unknown, yung anniversary tournament nila. And second is the Pride Camp Season 2. Code Unknown pa rin. And third, Gold Wars Season 2 sa Poke Gems. And the fourth, Battle of the Gold Season 4 sa Sakalam. Bagong ano pala to guys,
yes,
bagong
bago.
org tong Sakalam, kaya supportahan nyo rin guys. And hindi pa pala last, Battle Fury Season 3 sa yung August 23, bago pa lang to And the last is the Battle of the Best Season 3, which is naging champion kami dyan guys.
Ayun!
Yun!
Ayun!
Yeah.
Naplexan.
Tempest ang boton yan.
Naplexan ni Tempest, pero yun nga, once again guys, the tournament nominees for the Community Tournament of the Year would be Code Unknown's Anniversary Tournament, which happened at January 25th to 26th, 2025, and February 1st to 2nd, 2025, June 28th naman to 29, yung Pride Cup Season 2 of Code Unknown as well. August 9 to 10, 2025, Poke Gems Gold War Season 2. August 16, Sakalam's Battle of the Gold Season 4. August 23, Sakalam's Battle Furry Season 3. And September 5th, Poke Gems Battle of the Best. So make sure to actually nominate kung sino sa tingin nyo yung naging Community Tournament of the Year who actually brought the most hype, you know, gather everyone's attentions, and who is just, you know, your bet or your vote talaga. So that would be it for our Tournament of the Year. Pero now we're back at the caster's desk. Yules, meron ka bang mga parting messages or even questions para kay Tempest?
Siyempre, before tayo mag-part ways with Tempest, so, siyempre, sa mga bagong salang sa Pokemon Unite, no, especially mayroon tayong major patch yung kay Groudon sa TS Cairo. So, meron ka bang message sa mga players na nag-a-aspire maging competitive player in the future, and kung meron man, ano yung message mo sa kanila?
I think isa lang message ko sa kanila lahat, like mag-practice lang talaga sila, maglaro lang sila kung gusto nila mag-compete. Hindi naman magigain yung kalakasan mo kung hindi ka maglalaro, di ba? So, practice make it perfect, guys.
Tama. And you know, wise words coming in from Rookie of the Year himself of 2023. It's Tempest once again on the pod with us. Pero I think the players are now ready for the second and the final series of the day. Pero ipasok ko lang din just for a bit, the nominees for the PUPH Community Awarding or Community Tournament of the Year, the requirements is that the tournament should have been finished bago pa mangyari ang PokeCon. So, I think shoutouts as well to Code Unknown. So, they are having currently Battle of the Orient. I think yung for yung PH nila, kumbaga yung buong Pilipinas, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. So, they have the kampiyon ng silanganan. So, hindi mo na siya makakasali sa ating Community Tournament of the Year since hindi pa siya concluded. But once again, you still have tournaments of Code Unknown participating naman dyan sa ating Community Tournament of the Year. So you can still vote for them. But once again, just want to clarify that one out for most of you folks. Pero ayun na nga, Tempest, once again, thank you so much for being with us dito sa ating Casters Deck. It has been a pleasure talking to you and being with you and gracing us with your presence. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tempest. And I hope you have a wonderful time watching muna dito sa ating Community League.
Thank you guys. Goodbye.
No. And of course, guys, nga pala, if hindi niyo pa alam paano bumoto sa ating Community Tournament of the Year, just make sure to join the Pokemon Unite Philippines Community Discord server, go to PUPH News and Events category, and select the Cast Your Vote channel. And of course, dun ka boboto ng iyong favorite tournament. No? So, pag nagsimula ka, Orino, ikaw personally,
Hindi, Yules. Ang sasabihin ko, sinabi mo favorite, di ba?
Oh.
Favorite ka ata ni TPC, kaya balita ko, nakausap ka ng TPC para sa PBL eh.
Anong PBL? Naglalaro ko ng cards doon. Ano ka ba?
Nakausap ka daw ni TPC para sa PBL. Bale, ano lang yun guys. Kung curious kayo kung ano yung PBL, malalaman nyo yun just sa... sabihin natin, until further notice, mga kababayan. Pero once again, sige na Yules, take us to the first game ng ating most awaited rivalry. Kumbaga sibling fight dito sa ating bahay. Wala muna si Papa Bry to keep the kids out from fighting each other. And once again, we are now at the drafting phase ng Code Unknown Symmetry versus Code Unknown Fibonacci. It's the new gen versus the old gen. Kumbaga, Code Unknown Symmetry, it's the players that you have currently seen. And syempre, shoutout to Tempest once again. It's Miva, the former teammate of Tempest, Luis, Shua as well. I mean, Abad is there together with Ryu, na once was a member of Eastern Omento, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Code Unknown Fibonacci. You know these players. You know what they can give and what they have currently. And it's Hua, Mithril, Micros, Steam, and JR absent. Ang tapatan ngayon. Talagang tapatan talaga.
Pare, ako'y natatakot sa magiging laro natin ngayon. Kung ano mangyayari kasi masyadong stuck yung mga teams natin ngayon. And yun nga, kanina kasama natin si Tempest dito and yung mga former teammates niya is maglalaro. So sa Fibonacci, si JR absent. Then dito naman sa kabila si Luis, si Miva, tsaka si Shua. So really excited on what we're about to see. Basta yan, tingnan na natin kung ano mangyayari. No? Basta excited ako dito kasi...
excited? Saan ka ba excited? Saan ka excited? Sa match-up na to o sa PBL?
Pre, match-up ako excited kasi tapos na yung PBL ng TCG. Pre, di nga ako makapot ng TCG. Oo, teka, papakita ko sa inyo yung... Teka lang ha, papakita ko sa inyo yung ginamit kong tech. Ay, mamaya na pala.
Mamaya na, di nga tayo kita.
Mamaya off na pala tayo, so hindi kita. Pero balikan na natin yung natin dito sa laro natin, no? So, dalawang defender ang gagamitin dito ng Code Unknown Symmetry, no? So, very curious kung paano to gagana. Pero knowing na may Umbreon, for sure, this will be a wish setup if magpo-full defender tong si Ryu with the Crossel. So, possibly Rock Tomb, Exizor, tapos may naka-wish dito sa kanila. For JR absent, ang gamit niya nga dito ay Snorlax, very reliable as a defender, as well as si Hua na naka-Clefable. So, sustain din yung healing sila. Pero, with the overall lineup, I do feel like Lewis will play a pivotal role para sa kanilang team, knowing that he has a huge amount of damage. Pero ikaw, Kaori, sa tingin mo?
I just don't know, man. I'm just excited for this one kasi alam mo, nung nakikita ko sa Code Unknown Symmetry sa lineup ni Unite. The legendary Crossel plays, pare. I think they want to put it in play na kung kaya nyong gawin, mas kaya namin gawin dahil Pinas na malakas mga kababayan. Once again, this is the second series for today. And I'm just excited to bring you the action between Code Unknown Symmetry versus Code Unknown Fibonacci. Sibling fight dito ngayon sa ating Thea Sky Ruins. And shoutout kay Boss Jaina. Makulit pa rin siya hanggang ngayon.
Ay, syempre naman, matikpas na Boss Jay na kaibigan. Namimiss ko na yung yung naging team nila nung nationals ng Code, yung Janus Babies, pre.
Oo. Nakakamiss.
Nakakamiss, no? Sana makakita ko sa WCS ng pangalan ng team Janus Babies, pre.
Ay, parang gusto kong yun yan. Pero...
parang maganda yun, no?
Hindi, baka pwede collaboration. Janas, Berties, and Silver's Babies. Tapos yung mga casters nandun.
Pwede.
Complete lineup. Pwede yun.
Pwede. Ako po, abangan natin yun. Parang isa sa mga magandang suggestion ng lupa ng Pokemon Unite Community Philippines. Pero ito na nga tayo, Kawi. Game number 1. Hindi natin patagalin pa. Code Unknown Brotherhood ang ating makikita dito. Pero ito kasi bidringan po yung PBL eh.
Ay, yung PBL?
Kukunin ko muna yung deck ko dito. Hanapin ko yung pinakamagandang card ko. So, para ikwento natin sa lahat, no? Kasi baka meron din ma-curious dito, no? Mga kung maglaro ng PBL, ng cards, eh.
PBL? Pokemon Unite? Ay!
Oy!
Ay! Pero ayun lang, teka lang, nagkaroon agad ng utang pagbagsak dito sa ating itaas, and that is going to be 2 KOs coming in from Code Unknown Symmetry. Sukat na sukat, parang symmetry talaga yung kanilang pagbakbak doon sa ating itaas, and 22 pointers ang ma-issue-shoot naman dito ngayon ni Shua onto the top path, habang yung Code Unknown Fibonacci trying to chase down the members. And shoutouts to Mike Ross, kakakita ko lang sa kanya actually doon sa event Beyblade. Nagbe-Beyblade na rin ho dito si Mike Ross.
Parang alam mo yung Beyblade yun, parang pandemic na kumakalat yung sakit no?
Oo, kumakalat na ang Beyblade fever mga kabayan. Kaya sa mga gusto magbigay ay maglaro ng Beyblade kasama kami, you can catch us on Pokecon September 26 to 28. Syempre 28 lang muna kami pupunta. Pero magkakaroon pa tayo dito ng pagtatabla sa ating itaas, as that is going to be another KO sa kamay naman ngayon dito ng ating defender, and that is going to be Ryu. And you know, Code Unknown Symmetry has been playing this one very well. Instead, you'd actually expect na Code Unknown Fibonacci would have the upper hand kasi nga they're playing the Dot Trio, especially ni Micros. Kaya ngayon, you know, we have seen what Micros was able to do with this pick at kung gaano ka-dominating yung playstyle ng Code Unknown Fibonacci. But Code Unknown Symmetry, they just countered that.
Sana mabilis yung pag-counter nila dito. Reading their brothers like a book. But for sure, screen bodies to mga to. Kaya definitely they know how they move, how they play. So really understandable. Pero for sure, meron din tinatago itong mga team na to. But I'm loving so far yung run dito ni Ryu with the Castle, being able for them to secure yung mga wild Pokemons na mas mabilis by using those rock moves. So yun yung medyo magiging mahirap para dito sa side ng Code Unknown Fibonacci.
And that was just a lot of damage dished out to that Snorlax. Kinain doon yung mga bola-bola ni Luis Pari. Tapos ngayon, magkakaroon pa tayo ng objectives onto the top path and onto the bottom path as well. So, Code Unknown Symmetry, they have members invested on both objectives. So, ngayon, mukhang gusto nilang i-take down agad itong Registel agad-agad, while at the same time, keeping that Regi Eleki on check.
Checkpoint talaga, no? Pero nakaabang din naman dito yung Code Unknown Fibonacci, so maybe they have something in return. Kaso maganda yung pag-defend din dito ng Symmetry, making them yung ibang members na makapag-rotate kagad dito sa may taas, and possibly team fight might break through.
Yeah, team fight might break through indeed, pero yun na nga ngayon, yung mabe-breakthrough nga ba nila yung shield na binibigay ngayon ng Code Unknown Fibonacci, as now there is no towers left for the side of Code Unknown Fibonacci dito sa ating itaas. Tuloy pa rin naman yung laban, and that is just Shua slicing and dicing on the back end of things habang si Luis nagpapakawala dito ng mga Thunderbolts. Tapos may pader din naman, and that is one Regi Eleki inside the house, baby. And Code Unknown Symmetry, 290 to 24. Talagang dominating passion ngayon, pare. Si Micro sumusubok mag-score dito, but it's a matter of time until the members of Code Unknown Symmetry would be into play. Gagamit siya dito ng full heal to just escape that mean look. Habang dito naman makikita natin yung Symmetry. They are just invading the lands here of Code Unknown.
You know, you have to invade the lands as much as possible, and Ryu taken down. Mukhang sunod dito.
Oh, and that is a 2 KO streak coming in from Micross. Talagang ginagamit dito yung lawyering skills para ma-figure out dito yung Code Unknown Symmetry, kasi so far talagang nagiging Code Unknown pa dito yung playstyle ng Symmetry, pero makakahanap din naman sila ng onting butas or a glimmer of hope in the form of Micross with that amazing and wonderful 2 versus 1 outplay, at siya pa nga yung nakalabas doon ng buhay. But now, the objectives is on the table. Ang tanong, makaka-contest ba dito yung Fibonacci o makukuha na naman to ng Symmetry dahil si Shua mukhang mali ng pwesto. Mapapagamit ng full heal pero hindi siya masasaktuhan dito ng heavy slam. Ngayon, nag-aabang si Ryu doon sa may likuran. Ready na ata siya gumawa dito ng kaguluhan. Yung Rocktomb pwede na niyang bagsakan, pero nag-unite move lang naman para mas makunat pa. At ayun na nga, Reggie still now low on HP, but that is going to be Code Unknown Symmetry getting it instead. Tapos Moonlight Crunch doon sa ating likuran. Ang daming nangyayari ngayon sa ating labanan. Left and right, pero meron pa rin naman paghampas ng espada doon ngayon yung ating Aegis Slash. But that is going to be 1-for-3 trade. Sabay mo pa dito yung Reggie sa ibaba for Code Unknown Symmetry.
And this is just very tough para dito sa Code Unknown Fibonacci. Medyo natagalan silang ma-eliminate yung attacker ng Code Unknown Symmetry, making it very difficult for them. Plus the Rock Tomb combo, ito yung nagpapahirap sa kanila pare. Rock Tomb, plus yung damage ng attackers at all-rounder ng Code Unknown Symmetry.
Exactly. So, the thing here is that Code Unknown Symmetry, they are able to play against that gravity. You might ask me, paano? Hindi makakadashin yung Blaziken, hindi rin makakagalaw yung Scyther. But with the Rock Tomb, they have enough time to actually just stay inside that fight at hindi rin pakawalain dito yung mga miyembro ng Code Unknown Fibonacci. And that is why Ryu is such a beast ngayon din sa ating labanan. Pero basang-basa din naman yung eject button that power na would be invested, and that is one member down currently for the side of Code Unknown Symmetry. Micross talagang binibilisan na dito sa may likuran. Maradaan mo ba sa bilis, kaibigan? Dahil ito na nga yung pagbawi. Dahil kung gaano yung binilis ng pagtakbo, ganoon din kinabilis yung pagbagsak ni Micross. Tapos 2KO streak na agad si Shua. Welcome back to the competitive scene. Ang sabi dito ni Shua, let me teach you the old ways, kaibigan. Tapos si Ryu pa yung makakahanap ng isa doon at mukhang nangangailangan na ng tulong ngayon dito yung Fibonacci.
Kailangan na talaga ng tulong, and Shua making sure to get the very important KOs ng kanilang team fight para mas mahirapan dito makapag-execute yung Code Unknown Fibonacci. They weren't taking as much as objective as Code Unknown Symmetry. Lagi naka-lockdown dito yung mga Regis para sa kanila, and it is just everything working in their favor. So Symmetry, kailangan na nilang i-hold off tong lead na to in 2 and 50 remaining.
Yeah, 2:50 remaining on this game clock. Ngayon, makakatama naman sila dito ng main look, and now Code Unknown Fibonacci wants to make a move. Makakahanap sila ng isa, it's Ryu down. So that is one crucial member, pero meron pa rin naman sila ditong enough damage on the damage department. Not to mention, there is still the Umbreon threat, at mukhang masyadong napainit dito yung Code Unknown Fibonacci. Makukuha ba nila dito yung Reggie LA? They would get that instead. So that is still a possible trade, but Micross would lose his life in the process. So 2 KO streak for that Raichu. Ngayon, makikita natin mag-spawn in na rin naman dito yung ating pinakamamahal na Rayquaza. Pero meron din naman pick off for the side of Code Unknown Symmetry. So, with H-Slash out of the picture, pwedeng mabigyan dito ngayon ng pwesto yung Symmetry. Kumbaga kasi, they would have to wait more seconds para makapag-commit talaga dito sa Rayquaza fight. And now, this is where things get tough. Dahil naghihintay na lang yung Symmetry na tumalon siguro si JR Absent, but there's a big trap waiting for him, literal. Ooh, look at that damage!
Suwabog pa akin ng Electro Ball, pero nakulong na nga dito ng Rock Tomb agad, Kauri.
Nakulong na nga talaga agad dito ng Rock Tomb itong si JR Absent, but still, he is still fighting strong. Meron din naman siya ditong healing coming in from the Clefable. Tapos, mukhang kalmado lang eh. Yung Code Unknown Symmetry, it's like patience talaga is a virtue dito sa ating labanan. While Lewis is just landing and just placing down itong mga electro ball niya na masakit apakan. Makukulong si JR Absent pero hindi naman makangailangan ng tulong because Lua is at the back end just providing healing, providing assistance. And now makakascore si Micros ng 28 sa itaas but that is not that much of a difference. 1 minute remaining dito sa ating game clock. So this is where it gets serious. Kumbaga, it's crunch time mga kababayan. Hindi rin naman ganong kalakihan yung lamang ng Coda Zone Symmetry, so they would have to be very careful kasi pwede pa rin naman mag-flip dito yung Coda Zone Fibonacci and they are doing just that. Pero mukhang eyes on the prize dito ngayon, dito yung Symmetry. Makakatama yung power na pero mabubuhay pa rin naman sa likuran. Mukhang papasok din naman si Micros and that is 1 member down, 2 members down rather for the side of Coda Zone Symmetry. Pero makakakuha pa rin naman yung Symmetry. Sukat na sukat ang bawat pagkagat dito sa Code Unknown Fibonacci and now they are just wanting to dump all of those points to seal the deal. 3 KO streak from Lewis. Hindi nawawala ang galing throughout time, kababayan.
Yeah, I mean, Lewis doing everything para sa kanyang team. Those electro balls played a huge role dun sa make ways of fight para naman madelay dito yung Code Unknown Fibonacci. And, you know, very commendable plays din dito for Ryu, putting those rock tombs into places na talagang mahihirapan yung Code Unknown Fibonacci. They were just zoning out Code Unknown Fibonacci for around 1 minute dun sa final stretch. So, huge effort dun para sa Code Unknown Symmetry in order for them to stall the time and at the same time makuha yung panalo dito tung game number 1.
Yeah, exactly. And now Code Unknown Symmetry would actually win that first game against Code Unknown Fibonacci. I mean, it was a very commanding and decisive early game na pinakita nila. They were just, you know, around and all across the board. And, you know, the member that I actually want to give highlights to, I mean, I'm sorry to Miva, Shua, Luis, you guys did great. You guys did the damage. Kumbaga, kayo talaga yung star ng laro na to. Pero, behind every star, there is, you know, the sky full of darkness, constellations, at ayun si Abad. Kumbaga, nandyan lang siya, you know, being the guardian angel of this team. I mean, Code Unknown Symmetry, Abad has just been fed with those mean looks, hindi man flashy, hindi man natin nakita masyado na, oh, what is actually the purpose of Abad here? I mean, Abad was the one who put things together. Kumbaga siya yung glue guy nung team na to. And Abad, you know, he just put on a show, quite literally. He has been out of the competitive scene, I think, ever since what do you call this? Ever since season 1, if I'm not mistaken, or I think kahit tong season 1 ng community tournament, wala na si Abad. But now, just making his return in just a short amount of time, he adjusted well to the meta, he adjusted well to the role, and he is now one of the respected support players here in the Philippines. But still, you know, it's a team effort for Code Unknown Symmetry. It was a very nice and a good game that they played out. You know, and they just secured the win. And ayan na nga, nag-flex na nga si Pika Yules dito ng kanyang 10k worth na card.
Ano 10k? Promo card.
Ay, promo card.
Mura lang to, pre. Ano ka ba? Guys, oh, yan. Napag-usapan natin kanina yung PBL. Ito nga pala yung ginamit kong
PBL?
Since Garchamp, kaibigan. So,
meron din yan sa Pokemon Unite. Pati yung
meron
PBL,
din.
meron din sa Pokemon Unite.
Ay.
Ah? Ano?
Tingnan natin. We'll see. Pero, alam mo, yung mga ganyang bagay, dadating para sa atin. So, abangan na lang.
Abang lang,
natin
no?
mga good
Binibigyan
news
na nga
yan.
namin kayo ng onting balita, kumbaga.
Oo.
Pero tayo onting pasilip eh.
Tingnan natin kung ano yung magiging mga bali-balita, kung magkakatotoo ba, kung may mag-iiba, o pareho pa din ng last year, no? So, abang-abangan lang tayo, especially that yung Unite season natin, of course, will be starting around the corner, no? Kasi sa LA or sa America, LAIC, NAIC, EUIC, malapit na sila mag-start. So, meron din naman yung counterpart dito sa Asia, which is yung ating mga regional qualifiers na for sure mangyayari next year if same pa rin
For
yung
sure, si Pika
calendar.
Yules na naman yan.
Oh,
Sorry.
For sure si Kaori na naman yan kasi nakita niya na siya last year, 'di ba? So abangan na lang si Kaori doon, mga kaibigan. Kasi pag tumatanda, medyo sumasakit na yung likod eh.
Kumbaga passing the torch. Once a te. Pika Yules will be in the scene for I think the next 10 years. Siya na yung GOAT.
masakit na yung likod ko. yung 9 hours of casting sa invitation, nagiging 11 hours ng tignan na lang
full
natin.
Day, no? Full day.
Full day.
Nagiging whole day, kumbaga ilang series yan. Pero once again, we are still here dito sa ating finals, kumbaga, yung dati, kung alam nyo, Masters 8, tawagin yung Masters 8, but once again, we are back to Masters 8, it's Code Unknown Symmetry, 1 point up ahead against Code Unknown Fibonacci, and now, the drafts, Zacian Ban, and Suicune for Code Unknown Symmetry, habang sa Code Unknown Fibonacci naman would be that, Zoroark together with the Lucario. I think the Zoroark ban is a respect ban to Shuwa, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, parang expected na naman yun, di ba? I mean, I do get the respect ban, no? Talagang magkakilala kasi itong mga players dito. So, they know what's the best Pokemon for each and every player, and if they know for themselves na malaking threat yun, ayun, doon papasok yung mga respect ban natin dito. Pero, uy, nakakita ko ng Hupa. Ilak mo, Huwa! Ayan na!
Nilak na nga dito ni Huwa ang ating Hupa.
2024.
Kumbaga, nilabas na nila yung isang specialty nila kanina, yung Dodrio. Pero modern times na yun eh. Bumalik tayo sa nakaraan. Kumbaga, Battle of Old and yung nga, di ba? Ilalabas nila dito ngayon yung ating Hupa for the side of Code Unknown Fibonacci. And I think we've casted this before. This kind of gameplay from Fibonacci, and we keep on mentioning on how good and efficient they are with using the Hupa. So, naturally, with this Hupa pick, I think they're going to put on their A game quite literally. But, you know, Miva on the other hand, having that Zarina, oh no.
Man, very underrated all-rounder kung aking tawagin yan, no? Kasi, like for context, no, kung nakasabay niya ako mag-rank ng mga season, sa around season last year, no? Laging yan yung gamit ko sa Rina. Hindi siya masyado lumalabas sa meta. Pero wala, nag-enjoy lang ako gamitin siya. Sipa-sipa dito, sipa ganyan. Tapos knock out na pala yung kalaban. So, yun yung kailangan nating abangan mamaya. Knowing na meron ditong wish coming from Abad. So, yung sustain, masyadong secured na yun para kay Niva maya-maya. So, tignan natin if ganun nga ba yung magiging game plan nila dito. Pero, might cross with the deny pick. It's not just deny, I assume, since kinuha niya yung Scizor. Pero ganun din naman sa side ng Code Unknown Symmetry, kinuha ni Shuwa yung Dodrio. So, it's actually the same idea, but different Pokemon use. Pero mas mabilis dito yung scoring capabilities ng Code Unknown Symmetry for this game.
Yeah, exactly. No, and Code Unknown Symmetry, it's kind of the same idea, I think, pero medyo iba at some case because they need to pull this off quite differently from last time because you have the Dodrio and the Sarina. I mean, they both focus, they both benefit well from single target pickoffs, kumbaga. So, kanina, mas meron silang capabilities to actually have those big team fights, but now it's more of assassinating the key players here for Code Unknown Fibonacci. I don't know what to feel about this one, but, you know, it's Dodrio, Shuwa, and Miva Sarina, and, you know, it's just a lot of action, I think, dito sa ating game number 2. And now, the star of the show, I think, would be Huwa and that Hupa. Wow, tongue twister. Huwa, ginamit ni Huwa yung Hupa para makapag-Hupa sila na sa kamay ni Huwa.
Makapag-hyperspace hole, yung mga gano'n, no? Pero, ayun, yun nga, nasabi ko na rin yung hyperspace hole. Will this be a hyperspace hole or magkakaroon tayo ng trick? Ano sa tingin mo yung best option possible?
I mean, we've seen a lot of tricks currently, so I won't be surprised if it's the trick. Pero kung gusto talaga nila ibalik yung ating old school, kumbaga hyperspace hole would be just the thing. Kasi nga, they can reset, they can, you know, replenish and get back their resources. But at the same time, old versus new, who would you pick? Yeah.
Oo, no? Kasi if you're gonna take a look at the lineup dito ng Code Unknown Fibonacci, the trick might actually work, especially when you have a Mamoswine na medyo mabagal in terms of executing. So, if medyo fail yung execution mo, you can actually bring him back into the battlefield, or pwede naman nilagay sa Blaziken, no, para makapag-out ng mabilisan lang mamaya towards team fight. So, there's multiple options for Code Unknown Fibonacci. It's just a matter of choosing what's the best decision. Hyperspace Hole, very, very possible din yan, knowing that they have a Scyther, which is Micross, na talagang pagka nakakuha na ng damage capability, magpapahirap talaga dito sa side ng Code Unknown Symmetry, especially in 850.
Yeah, especially on 850. I mean, we're not seeing the same symmetry kanina. I mean, they got their way earlier, but now it seems like Koda no Fibonacci, they actually opted for the hyperspace also. Once again, incorporating old tactics and bringing it dito sa ating bagong meta, and it's been working out and it's been working wonders. And Ryu is on the red side of things talaga. And Koda no Fibonacci, on the other hand, mas komportable sila playing this matchup.
Yeah, and they have to be very comfortable. Yun nga naman talaga yung the best way possible of winning. What's adapting to the meta kung di ka naman komportable? And still, this is a meta plus comfortable zone ng Fibonacci. So, really a plus AA game para sa kanila dito. Pero medyo nagkakahirapan na ka dito. Multiple team fights breaking through.
Yeah, multiple team fights breaking through. And, this is the problem when you have to face a Hoopa na, okay, we'll take that, bye-bye. Ang sabi dito na Code Unknown Fibonacci. And, it's just frustrating to deal with if you're Code Unknown Symmetry. But then again, it's Code Unknown Fibonacci with the experience as well. Adjusting dito sa playstyle ng Symmetry. And now, I think they got the read and they are playing so much better. Mainlook would be landing here for that Phyllis one. The Phyllis one would get taken out. Hindi masyadong mabilis yung pagsarado ng hyperspace. Also, that is no saving grace para doon sa ating Phyllis one. At dito sa ating patuloy para naman sila sa paglaban, sa pag-aksyon. Pero mukhang magiging pabor pa nga sa Symmetry yung laban na yun as that Raichu would pick off that Hoopa. Akala niya siguro ligtas na siya dito naman sa ating itaas. Meron din naman pagbagsak and that is the Dodrio down and about for Symmetry as Micros once again, proving why he is still one of the best players when it comes to Central Area.
Oh yeah, for sure. Medyo sumasakit yung Green Illusion Dive dito ng Scyther. So definitely would play a lot of role maya-maya lamang. Especially eliminating Lewis with the Alolan Raichu. And that's factor or job dito ni Micros maya-maya lamang. So definitely Abad has to play a huge role para dito sa kanilang team to protect him sa ball.
Kumbaga, protect him at all cost ang sabi dito ng Code Unknown Symmetry. Pero we have even ball game, 87-87 yung ating score. Code Unknown Fibonacci, it's refreshing to see na they are back onto their senses kasi there must be quite a bit shock kanina, pero ngayon they're playing as if they are on their A game. Kumbaga download game lang daw yung una.
Oo, no, mag-downloading resources. Nagagamit nila yung gusto nilang gamitin pero yung resources kailangan pa nila mag-download. But here we go again.
Magkakaroon tayo dito ng onting paglaban and I think that's just JR absent down and 5 members invested for Code Unknown Symmetry sa ating itaas. How will Code Unknown Fibonacci respond? Ngayon, merong hyperspace hole, merong papuntang Hoopa, pero mukhang siya pa nga ay malalagay sa peligro doon sa kanyang pag-teleport dahil ito na yung pagkabante ng Code Unknown Symmetry and just like that, tower down, 2 members out, Code Unknown Symmetry, we bounce.
Man, everyone from Code Unknown Symmetry just giving a lot of space para ma-score nila yung points na naiipon nila dito. That was actually a commendable job, especially kay Ryu at Abad creating a space with the rock tombs. Talagang ina-aggressive nila yung mga frontliners dito ng Code Unknown Fibonacci and able for their teammates to score their AO's energies. Very well coordinated team.
Very well coordinated team indeed. Tapos ayun pa nga, masyado ka nang makulit ang sabi dito ng Code Unknown Symmetry at hindi ka na nga makakaulit. And now, major objectives will be spawning in 20 seconds dun sa ating itaas habang 5 seconds naman sa ating ibaba. And now, Code Unknown Symmetry, once again, having the lead. Mukhang sila yung nakakahawak ng kalamangan ngayon. Si Micros is playing a very interesting spot. And I think this is just Miva down, pero Queen's Ascendant would be used. At mukhang si Micros pa nga yung mapupuruhan dito. They're just playing mind games with Miva at this point. Pero ang tanong, can they finally beat out the raid boss? Pero nandyan na rin naman nga yung supporting characters dito ni Miva. Pero yung ibaba, grabe ang mind games ng Code Unknown Fibonacci. They forced the reaction doon sa ibaba habang yung Reggie Ice kinukuha nila. But, I think Symmetry would be happy with the trade as they are currently taking out itong ating Reggie sa itaas. Tapos nahanap at nakuha pa rin naman dito ni Shua yung ating Reggie sa ibaba.
Man, I thought the Rock Tomb was actually about to get the last hit pero hindi nga lang yung nagiging enough. But the meme look very on point for them to get a KO dito sa may bottom path, no? Tapos may pressure pa dun sa taas, no, Reggie Lecky. So, this is looking good for Code Unknown Symmetry.
Yeah, and this is looking good indeed for them. Pero mukhang hindi looking good itong laban dito ngayon. Gumamit na nga dito ng Unite move yung ating Hubal, just calling the members of Code Unknown Fibonacci in. Rings Unbound would have a lot of value as 2 members would get taken out. Pero si Micros would be a good consolation prize for Symmetry. Pero ito ang worst possible scenario. Yung babagsak dito yung 2 miyembro ng Code Unknown Symmetry dahil habol pa rin naman dito yung Code Unknown Fibonacci. Pero makakaligtas pa rin naman sila, and I think that is the sign for Code Unknown Fibonacci to actually back away from this fight.
Yeah, and I think Steam needs more damage kasi hindi kinakaya dito ng Scyther or ni Micros na i-deal yung damage alone. So I feel like Steam needs to do more. And I mean, it's a Mewtwo, very hard to use. Sure hits lang yung capabilities niya, pero we need to see more action galing sa kanya, especially with the Blaziken as well.
Yeah, with the Blaziken as well. Pero ngayon, mukhang mag-blaze na tayo to the action. Hyperspace Soul would it close out on time, and apparently it did. Naka-out doon ngayon, pero may pag-abang din naman with the X-Sister, and I think that is just an overextension coming in from Viva, but still, they got a trade, pero it was on the favor, at syempre, pumapanig pa naman yun sa Code Unknown Fibonacci.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think they were just trying to stall enough time. I mean, just take a look at Micros trying to get those wild Pokemons para makapag-level up na kagad, no? Especially 2 minutes and 30 seconds na lang yung remaining dito. So, in terms of level department, gusto niyang maunahan dito yung Serena, yung Dodrio ng Code Unknown Symmetry para mas magiging madali yung buhay nila maya-maya. Especially yung Green Illusion dive niya ready. So, everything would happen in a flash maya-maya lamang unless he gets trapped by the mean look gamit ni Abad.
Exactly, no? So, Abad would actually just be the key player here, quite indeed. Kasi nga, kailangan niyang mapigilan either itong Blaziken from Code Unknown Fibonacci or that Scyther in the hands of Micros. So now, it's the final 2 minutes ng ating labanan. Will Symmetry close things out or makakabawi pa naman dito yung Fibonacci? It's just spacing out and it's a lot of waiting.
Yeah, waiting game na lang talaga to. Malaki ang kalamangan dito ng Code Unknown Symmetry but not enough if makukuha ng Code Unknown Fibonacci yung Rayquaza. So, patience is a virtue para sa kanila. Very careful, walang mag-overextend. No need to engage in team fights. Hayaan yung Code Unknown na umabante.
Exactly, pero sinong Code Unknown na nga abante nga naman. Low on HP na dito yung Mama Swine, so that Mama Swine would be forced to back away. GR absent. Gagamitin mo na dito yung portal. Si Steam, medyo delikado dito. Pero hindi pa naman siya tatalunan ng mga miyembro coming in from Symmetry. And now, the waiting game once again. 1 minute ang natitira sa ating labanan. Ang tanong, kakayanin pa ba ilaban to ng Fibonacci because they would need to flip. Once again, tulad kanina, pero nakita natin, nabasa yun ng Code Unknown Symmetry. But once again, this is a different game and different tactics are into play. Ice Fang, tatama doon kay Abad. Gagamit siya dito ng kanyang Moonlight Crunch sa may likuran. Makakahanap sila ng isa, and that is the Mammoth Wind down. Tapos si Micros caught in the middle of the action. Kumbaga tinamaan ng ligaw na bala. Tapos tuloy pa rin naman dito yung Code Symmetry, kaya wag kang mabahala ang sabi dito ni Ryu dahil siya naman yung frontline. Tapos depensang Marino lang talaga sila, pero si Mithril mahuhuli doon sa may likuran. And that is just, I think, the dagger in this match. Code Unknown Symmetry got the better or the best of Code Unknown Fibonacci, pero tuloy pa rin naman sa laban dito yung Fibonacci. But still, Code Unknown Symmetry holding them down. Pwede nyo kaming maubos pero hindi magiging sapat yung oras. There is not enough time for you and me, kababayan. Kumbaga, traditional breakup lines yung sinabi dito ng Code Unknown Symmetry, and that's just it. 2-0 win from Code Unknown Symmetry, taking out Code Unknown Fibonacci.
Man, what a matchup we've seen for both of these teams, no? Talagang nakita natin yung superiority dito ng Code Unknown Symmetry. You know, Ryu, Abad doing a lot of job, job well done para sa kanila being the main frontline ng kanilang team. And that was actually scary kanina nung kanilang last fight din sa may Rayquaza, no? Kasi si Abad nahuli siya ng Ice Fang, tapos nagmamot mash na kakagad dito yung Mammoth Wine from Code Unknown Fibonacci with si JR absent. Pero they managed to maintain the team fight. Nakuha pa rin nila yung kanilang rhythm. Luis nasa likod na, ready with the electro balls. But I do feel like Code Unknown Fibonacci could have actually done more. Especially yung Infinite Cyburn, kung napansin mo, medyo late siya na ginamit. So, feeling ko if nahuli dun si Abad, tas Infinite Cyber na God, I feel like it would be a different story. Siguro
Right.
mas nakapag-execute na mas maganda dito si Mike Ross or mas nakapwesta na mas maganda yung Blaziken nila, which is si Mithril. So, I guess it's a matter of timing. Better timing, boiled down talaga sa symmetry. And Fibonacci, they had it. Kaso medyo may mga off timing lang talaga sila ng mga team fights na very important para sa kanila.
Exactly, no. I mean, that was like the window of opportunity for Koda and Fibonacci, pero once was said and done, no one was there to actually catch the bullets para kay Mike Ross, and he just died in the middle of that action. Kaya talagang it was unfortunate for the side of Koda and Fibonacci, but you know, that's what happens. It's the macro and micro side of things when it comes to Pokemon Unite, and it's those tiny little details talaga na, you know, it slips through, and that is what, you know, gives the edge of the team to the other team, and in this case it was just Code Unknown Symmetry's game to win, and they would be proceeding dito sa ating bracket, and I think they would be facing up against Ethan Rego if I'm not mistaken. So they will be facing up against Ethan Rego, but that is going to be tomorrow, and you know, congratulations to Code Unknown Symmetry for actually taking out dito yung Code Unknown Fibonacci, and now we are going to be showing you the updated bracket ng ating torneo.
Yan, for the updated bracket, so far we have Ethan Rego and Code Unknown Symmetry advancing into the semifinals. That is going to be tomorrow. Then sa pangalawang matchup naman natin, it would be the Rejects up against Nocturnals. And of course, yung championship din natin mangyayari rin bukas. It will be casted by Baddest Soul and Tim. So make sure to tune in. 4 p.m. pa rin yung simula ng ating live stream. So abangan nyo yung mga magiging laban dito as we declare who will be the champion. Battle for third place off stream nga pala. So we have a total of 3 matches going to be live tomorrow. So make sure na abangan nyo. And of course, we are inviting everyone to please do attend PokeCom. That will be on September 26, 27, 28 at Alamos Market sa BGC. So if you have time, make sure to drop by. There are tons of events happening there. For sure, may side events tayo ng Pokemon Unite. For sure, meron din tayong PCG, Pokemon Go, VGC. Marami pang iba, guys. There are also merchandise na pwede mong bilhin doon. So kung ako sa iyo, mag-ipon-ipon ka na ngayon pa lang dahil yung 5,000 mo gawin nating 500. Doon sa
Yung 5,000 mo gawin nating sapat na lang para makauwi ka.
Yan yung mga masasayang pakiramdam no? Yung healing the inner child. Yan.
Exactly. Pero speaking of healing the inner child, I think this has healed the inner child sa atin dahil we've seen a lot of players from the past. You know, it's been nostalgic. At syempre, yung action-packed matches between these teams. So once again, congratulations to everyone that made it through the semifinals. I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's Ethan Rego. Congratulations to Ethan Rego for winning a 2-0 clean sweep. To CU Symmetry for winning a 2-0 clean sweep. To Rejects and to Nocturnals. I mean, guys, this doesn't take away their credibility or their strength. Pero, you know, it actually have to take into account na things like this happen in tournaments. So, you know, it's not within our control talaga. And the prize pool, by the way, for this tournament, wow, 30,000 pesos lang naman.
Wow.
Was P Gayuls. Kaya ngayon, for the champions, it's going to be 10,000 pesos. For top 2 would be 7,500 pesos. For top 3, 5,000 pesos. So, yung top 4 natin ngayon, which is the top 4 price is 3,500 pesos. So, it's secured already. Top 5 to 8 would be 1,000 pesos. So, walang uuwing luhaan still for our teams. And I think that's about it. As we are going to wrap up na muna this stream. I just want to say my thank yous to everyone that watched till the end, sa ating guest na si Tempest, to the major bossings out there, to Boss Bry, to Boss Jaina, to Mami Berts, kay Mami Silv na rin kasi malapit na siya mag-birthday.
Yun.
Once again, thank you so much to everyone, to Kuya Pao, to everyone that is, you know, making up Pokemon Unite Philippines community. Syempre sa casters natin for tomorrow, to Tim and Baddest Soul, please give them the action that everyone deserves. Kasi manonood lang din kami muna for tomorrow. Wala muna ang Love and Thunder duo for the finals. And syempre, I think my last shoutout would be to my only one, to my wife. She's currently at home, I think, or pauwi pa lang. Pero yeah, I think that's it for me. Ikaw ba, Yuls?
Ayun, gusto ko lang muna i-remind lahat no, to make sure and vote for the PUPH Community Tournament of the Year. So, again, we have Golden Anniversary Tournament, Pride Cup Season 2, Gold War Season 2, Battle of the Gold Season 4, Battle of Fury Season 3, and Battle of the Best Season 3. So, huwag nyo kalimutan bumoto, guys. Just join the Discord server ng Pokemon Unite Philippines community. I do believe nandyan yan somewhere around the comment section. Hanapin nyo na lang or dun sa profile mismo ng page natin. Go to the PH News and Events category ng Discord. Select the Cast Your Vote channel and of course, vote for your favorite tournament. So open pa yan bago ang PokeCon. So make sure to cast your votes immediately and let's determine kung sino nga ba talaga ang deserving for the Community Tournament of the Year. And before wrapping up, ngayon, kagaya na sabi ni Kaori, maraming salamat for everyone behind the scenes for making this event possible itong PLPH Community League Season 3. And looking forward for another season right after PokeCon. So, we're just hoping for the best para sa Pokemon Unite Philippines community as a whole.
Yan, maraming salamat mga kaibigan. It has been quite a pleasure. Ano pa? 3 years na ako nandito, pero still, the feeling is still the same to actually say goodbye as we wrap up. I think it's for me. I'm going to wrap up kasi wala na ako bukas, pero nasa PokeCon naman ako mga kababayan at September 28th. So, drop by, say hi, kung gusto niyo man mag-hi, mga regalo, mag-birthday na ako.
Yan.
Pero once again, thank you so much to everyone that watched Pika, Yuls, and Kaori. Would be back for more. I love you, guys. And I love you, Cookie, yung anak kong pusa.
Ayun. So with that, guys, ayan, nagkakamahal na ng mga pusa. Pero syempre, tapusin muna natin ang unang chapter ng ating Pokemon Unite Community League Season 3 Vote. May day number 2 pa bukas. And we'll see you around. GG's.
See you around, guys. Bye-bye.